Hello everyone, this is Alex with Anchor Collectibles, and today we are going to be doing a Commander Spotlight on our Rakdos deck, which is Angie Falcon Wrath. It's a 1 black and red legendary creature vampire with haste. Tap, discard a card, draw a card. When you discard a card, if it has madness, you untap it. And she is a 1/3, so we do have some madness cards in here. I wish we had more. We have 16, just counted them. So the point of the deck is to discard, get advantage from the discard, and drawing a card. So Angie gives us that ability. We do have other ways to discard cards, and we have other ways to draw. So these are a lot of our draw spells. That also, some of them give us discard abilities through a possibility. Laughing Mad, which is a new card from Final Fantasy set. Faithless Looting. Magics of the Wheel makes everyone discard and then draw 7. The Ravager, whenever you attack, discard your hand, then draw 3 cards. He has Madness. Azra. We got Infamous Gruel Call in here because what it does is when you deal combat damage, you look at the top of your library and you exile it. And then as long as it's exiled, you may cast it by discarding a card instead of paying its mana cost. So it gives us more discard. The Occultist, Asylum Visitor, another Madness creature. This is one's here because it's a vampire. It's got flying, pay 2 life, put a 1/1 counter on it, and then when it leaves the battlefield, you draw a card for each one. So this is our card draw. We have ways to discard our cards. So this makes each player discard, and you make tokens. Lurgoyf, at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player discards a card, and it's got Madness. Stromkirk Condemned, discard a card. Vampires you control get +1/+1. So we do have quite a bit of vampires, not a lot. Thinking about remaking this deck, and either focusing on vampires or more madness. This one it gives you a benefit when you discard a card. If it's a creature, it's a counter. If it's a land, you get a token. If it's a non-creature, non-land, it fights up to 1 creature, so it's removal. This one's in here because of the echo. We need to discard a card. So there's some discard effects in this deck. Now, we do have ways to drain our opponents, which I'll go over in a bit. But discarding benefits. 2 cards make a zombie. When you discard 1 or more cards, you make a zombie. Token generators. This one has Madness, which makes 3 tapped 2/2 black zombie creature tokens, and you gain 3 life. But if you pay its Madness cost, you make X tokens and gain X life. Olivia's Attendance has making blood tokens, and this also deals 1 damage to any target, so it's part of our removal. This one makes incubation tokens. Speaking of our removal, we are going to be doing a lot of card draw. Now, with this, you pay 1, and instead of drawing, you deal 2 damage to target creature or player. So these are all our removal cards that we use to get rid of our opponent's threats or just deal damage straight to them. And some of them do have Madness, so they can be done like this is a sorcery. But when you activate its Madness cost, you can actually cast it. So let's say it's your opponent's turn and there's a creature on the battlefield. What you do is you tap, you discard Murderous Compulsion, pay the Madness cost, and then you cast it, destroying the tapped creature. Because you discarded a Madness card, Angie untaps and you can do it again. Same thing with Avacyn's Judgment. It is a sorcery, but with the Madness ability, it's pretty cool. This one deals 2 damage to any target if you have no cards in hand. I like this one in this deck. When you draw your 2nd card each turn, it deals 3 damage to any target. So if you activate Angie twice, it'll ping. When this enters, destroy target creature with power 3 or greater. So again, Madness. Discard it to Angie, pay the Madness cost, enter the battlefield, destroy target creature with power 3 or greater. This is Arcfiend, more removal. I like this one. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifice each other creature you control. If you discard 2 cards, you sacrifice it. Choose target opponent. Return Plague Reaver to the battlefield under that player's control at the beginning of the next end step. So this deck doesn't have any way to steal people's things. One of our only decks. However, we give them things. that take away their stuff. So I thought that was pretty hilarious. On top of discarding, we do have a few creatures that can swing in because we're going to be attacking. You got Mary, and these ones get counters. When you commit a crime, you get a counter. It entered with a counter for each creature that died this turn. And then Drana, when it deals combat damage, put a 1/1 counter on each attacking creature you control. So it makes your creatures bigger. I hate this card. Especially, there's one that has flying. I can't remember what it is. At the beginning of your end step, if an opponent lost life this turn, put a 1/1 counter on target vampire control. So this could actually escalate. And how do we make our opponents lose life? We have ways. Curse of the Fool's Wisdom. When you cycle or discard, pay 1. If you do, each opponent loses 2 life. You gain a life. At the beginning of combat, your turn, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain a life. I should really put that enchantment shrine in here. Sangromancer, Veto, and Vran. So these are our ways to ping them to trigger some of the effects. We have a few one-offs. We got the Vampire Nighthawk, Flying Death Touch Lifelink, Desperate Bloodseeker, target player mills 2 cards. Falcon Wrath Gorger. So this card it gives each vampire creature card you own that isn't on the battlefield madness, and the madness is equal to its mana cost. So it makes all these other vampires that don't have madness, so you can cast them. That's why the name of the deck is Mad Vamps and Friends. Markov Banner gives, or Baron, not Banner, creatures +1/+1 if they're vampires, and it also has madness. We don't have a lot of ramp, which is one of the reasons why I want to rework this deck, because we have Soul Ring and Currency Converter. Now this right here does not really work well because when you discard a card, you may exile that card. So if you're doing madness, it's not going to trigger this. If you're doing this, it's not going to trigger madness. So this might get removed when we add more ramp. What do you think of the deck? This is actually one of our cheaper decks to bracket 2. It needs a little bit of work. What would you change to the deck? What would you add? What would you take out? Stay tuned for our next video. We are almost done with our 2-color commanders. We still have our Rakdos. This is Rakdos. We have Gruul, and we have Golgari next. Which should we do next? Check our store if you're looking for product for your commander decks. Link is in the description below. Check our other Commander Spotlight videos as well as our videos of opening up products. We are currently chasing the Chocobo with Final Fantasy. So stay tuned to see if we pull that elusive card. And again, thank you very much for watching.